The focus of this Monday's metacognition strategy is the sketchnote. As the title suggests, sketchnotes are a means of note-taking that combine both words and pictures. Remember that this is effective because there are two streams of information that feed into our working memory, verbal and visual. Verbal information is processed in the working memory sequentially, and this requires a lot of effort. Visual information, on the other hand, is processed by the working memory synchronously, which means that details and links can be made and processed at the same time. This means less effort for your brain. According to research, sketchnotes are effective because drawing visuals increases the demand on your concentration, which in turn strengthens it. The thought process involved in deciding how to present information visually deepens the connections being made in your memory. Just to show you how easy it is, why don't you give it a go? The process of making sketchnotes is to listen to the information, synthesize the information, and then visualize it. How might you represent this process visually? I'm going to give you 2 minutes to give that a try. So let me show you how you could have done it, or how I chose to do it. Creating an image for listening and visualizing was easy because obviously you've got the ear for the listening and the eye for the visualization. And then the arrows show the process and the order in which the action should happen, so that was quite straightforward. The synthesis part was more tricky, and this made me think about what synthesis actually was. So I thought about the fact that it was a filtration process, which is why I have used a sieve, but you can see that I have had to really concentrate on this in order to create the visuals, something I wouldn't have done had I simply been writing the words down. So what are the rules for sketchnotes? You'll be glad to know there are no particular rules for sketchnotes, but there are some considerations. You can sketchnote in real time, or you can use this as a way to review lesson notes. Please be aware that sketching in real time may result in missed information because of the process of having to make notes and draw pictures at the same time. You might find that it's more effective as a review tool. You can use mostly text with some visuals, or mostly visuals with some text, depending on what you prefer. You can use free form or a framed structure. Using a framed structure can sometimes be helpful in really honing in on key information to decide on what's most important. And then finally, research recommends using no more than 3 colours to avoid visual overload. So there is your first dual coding strategy. As I mentioned last week, if you can show me an example of where you have been successful in using these in a lesson or in your independent study, you'll be entered into our weekly prize draw. So just email me a picture of your successful sketch note.